Oh, great people, welcome to this video. And in this video, as you can see in front of your screen, there is a paper displayed there. This is computer studies paper 2 that was done by the candidates in year 2017. Computer studies paper 2 that was done by the candidates of the year 2017. It's a Kenya National Examination Council's paper, actually terminating the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, and therefore a very major paper here. And basically, it's always good to remind ourselves that every time we are preparing for a computer practical, there are 4 possibilities where the examiner may test our knowledge on word processing, our knowledge on spreadsheet applications, our knowledge on desktop publishing applications, or the knowledge that we might have in database management software. So every year there is normally a combination of 2 of these packages. The examiner has the discretion to choose any 2 of those 4 packages and present a test to us. The 2 questions are all compulsory, each carrying 50 marks, and the time allowed is normally 2.5 hours. And therefore, it is always very proper to make sure that you balance your time, especially on the 2 questions. So every time you hear the examiner, or rather the supervisor or the invigilator, say that you have got 1 hour is over, you should be switching to the second question. It's always good to use 1 hour for question 1 and 1 hour for question 2, so that the next 30 minutes you can use it to fine-tune what you might have left undone. So without so much talking, let's go to this paper and we try to see what the examiner intended us to do. Mavuno Group of hotels offer accommodation services to clients. The accommodation rooms are categorized as single, double, or VIP, each attracting different rates. The rooms with fridges stocked with drinks attract an extra cost. The management of the hotel intends to use a spreadsheet program to compute the revenue from the rooms. Okay, so requirement A. Open the spreadsheet program and create a worksheet to appear as shown in figure 1. Save your workbook as room charges. Okay, so let's see how it appears in figure 1. So that's the work to be done. Oh, there's too much to be done, but never worry, we are equal to the task. So that's the table that we've got to design. The good thing is that the examiner forgot not to label for us the columns. So this becomes very easy for us to know that we are going to enter this information into this particular cell and so on. So I open my spreadsheet application. In this case, I'm using Microsoft Excel 2016. Whatever version of Microsoft Excel that you might be having, you'll be able to achieve that. And now what I have done, I have already printed out a hard copy of the same paper that is in display, but however, so that I can retain a display partly, which will be zoomed out. You will forgive me to zoom out completely so that I can actually be having a larger part for me to do my demonstration. So the larger part will be taken by my window here and that way. So this is my Excel window, and this is the I am using Adobe Reader to display the paper. So I just downloaded the paper from one of the websites where you have a lot of material. So the first thing that we type there is service cost per day. Per day. Remember, in Excel, things about text wrap, we normally consider that after we have already typed. It is a part of formatting. So that is in row 1, and then there is no row 2. So why we don't have row 2, we are going to think of that, but we can still do it right now, hiding row 2. If you look at the paper, we don't have a row 2, so how do we hide row 2? So simply I have pointed between row 2 and row 3, where the 2 rows subdivide, or they are divided at, the mouse pointer changes to a 2-headed arrow. So I drag upward to close completely row 2. Then I'll increase the height of row 1, and later I'll show you how to do them, breaking of the text so that it appears in 2 lines. So then the next thing, we have got single, and this is capital S in brackets, and then we have got another one, double, and this is capital D, and then we have got another one, VIP, capitals. Note that even capitalization, the case that you use is very, very crucial. That's a part of the test. So don't assume that just because I have typed that I'll get all the scores. You must also consider capitalization, spacing, every element that you find there on the paper, be it alignment. All these things really matter. So I'm typing the things that are displayed there. So if you are able to see my small screen, the one that I squeezed over there, then that's what I'm still struggling to type here. So room ID is I'm now in this the headers of the lower table. Guest ID, okay, days, then we have got room status, then we have got fridge availability, hope the spelling is okay. Room charges. Remember, again, in an exam, what are we competing against? Even time is a factor to compete against, not only for marks, but even time. We also compete against time. So some corrections, you do them thereafter. That's why you have we have said you reserve some minutes. Like now you see there are so many numbers to be typed: 363, 103, 368. We have got 332, 370. We have got 102, 383, 2233. Then we have got 325. Then we have got 364. The examiner wanted to know whether we can be able to type all these. 174, 33 and 147. Okay, so at row 22, so I'm correctly done. So to shift quickly, I'm using Control up arrow, and then I now type oh, this is friendlier. So see how I'm going to handle this now. This becomes friendlier because if we know how to use the autofill handle, this I can see it is very friendly, because room 001 we can simply autofill. You see what happens. So I'm using the autofill handle. Those who do not know it, those who might not be conversant with the tool, I'm talking about this tiny mark that we have at the bottom of the selection here, the 2 selected cells at the bottom. We have got this icon, you know, the tiny square that is appearing there is the autofill handle. I autofill up to room 014. So the work now there becomes just nice, very wonderful. 3, okay, 1, 1, 4. Somebody to be reading for me those values. Can you be reading? Are you reading? I can't hear you well. Okay, hope you are reading, and you should look for this paper. I'm going to on the description, I'm also going to show you some of the links into which you can get some of these papers. Like now, this one is just a downloaded paper, and I felt that it is good that we have it done, so that you do not say that it is only us who normally do the exam. We, the students and the teachers, do not do these papers. Okay, so I'm setting an example that the things are doable. They are doable. Why not? Okay, no, then we have got yes. So simply here now we are alternating somewhere now. Am I lost? Room 006. Room 006 is a no. Then a yes. Then a yes. Then a yes. Then a yes. Everything here is like it is yes. Only in room 12 where it is a no. Room 12 is a no. And then a yes and a yes. A yes and a yes. Okay. So that way now. Just a minute. Okay. That way. So the table is done. Oh, the table is done that fast. That is very quickly. And there is capitalization issue here. So capital no. Then I'm zooming out so that I'm able to highlight the whole table. Highlight the whole table. One, I always remind my people that we should always use a font called Times New Roman whenever you are presented with a question, be it in Microsoft Word and so on, unless you check and see otherwise. Many times the examiner likes using Times New Roman to test our ability. Size 12. Okay. Then there is the printable borders. We must apply the printable borders. That is, I come to borders when the table is all highlighted and I apply border style all borders. So these are black printable borders. So I promised to show you how do you break this text. Service cost per day. Simple. On home ribbon. Most of the formats will be done actually from the home ribbon. That's why I thought that I did not even mention where I had gone. So I'll highlight these two cells because you can see service cost. The word cost is spilling over to column B, and then we say merge and center first, and then we wrap text. Okay. Then we have it left aligned. The text is left aligned actually, and then it is longer, and the title there appears to be enlarged. So we enlarge a bit, 14 font size, and that is it. Then I've got these ones. I don't think there is much to be done there. Then there is this room ID, and so on. The whole of that is bolded, and the text is having wrap text feature, so that we have got something like fridge availability forming 2 lines, fridge availability, room charges forming 2 lines, and then guest ID is 1 line. Guest ID is 1 line, like so. Everything is flashing to the top here. The alignment, vertical alignment is flashed to the top. So top alignment. Okay, good. Then we come down to this column, room ID plus the contents below. They are all left aligned. And I think everything else is actually left aligned in the table. So we were told after we type that, we save our workbook as room charges. So I have clicked file, then save as, then what? Browse to go to the location where we want to save into, and then you have been given your own what? Index number, like 10 222444001, or I am 00 what? I must be the first student. So sorry, I was to make a folder for this. I'm sorry for that. I want to make a new folder with this index number. That's what I meant here. So I'm just copy pasting, and then I open the folder. I am now inside the folder. As you can see, the folder is located in the desktops, and then the index number is what I have included there. And then I type the file name. It is in small letters. So again, don't forget to use the correct case. Room charges, Excel workbook, perfect. Good. So now we go back to the paper. I go to the paper, I maximize, and I zoom in so that we read the next item. Name the cell containing the value 1500 as SR, the cell containing 2800 as DR, the cell containing whatever as VP, and the cell containing 300 as FR. So in other words, the cells that we are targeting are these ones. We are being told how to rename them. So I go to my Excel, let me maximize, and then I go to where those cells are. The cell with the 1500, we change the name. So what is the current name? The current name is what we have in the name box. So call it SR. So SR in capital letters, press enter. So once you replace the cell address which was previously there, so you have to remember to press enter for the new name to take effect. Then the other cell, the one which contains 2800 as DR, press enter. And then the other cell which has 3200 as VP, press enter. Then the other cell that has 300 as FR, done. So if I click on any of these cells, now we are not seeing B3, but we are seeing something different, SR, DR, and so on. Cells are renamed, guys. So go back to the paper, and then number C. In the column with the title room charges, enter a formula that can be copied down to multiply the value in days. Oh, some children are noisy out here. In the column with the title room charges, enter a formula that can be copied down in the column to multiply the value in days by SR if the room status value is S, or multiply the value in days by DR if the room status is D, or multiply the value in days by VP if the room status is V. Okay, we have been caught red-handed. So if the room status is D, we are to give the room charges here. Okay, the room charges here. So the room status, when it is D, we are multiplying the number of days by D. Okay, by D. Remember, this cell is already named what? DR. So we are multiplying by DR. If the room status is S, we are multiplying with SR, and so on. Okay, so we go to Excel, and then I type in this formula. What is the examiner testing us here? He is testing our ability to use what we call nested if function. Nested if function. And it's not a major challenge. That's not a major challenge, I tell you, because it's just typing is equal to, then if, I type is equal to, and then open bracket after the word if, open bracket, and then we say if room status is where now? Here it is in D9. D9. If the room status is, we start with the first test. If the room status is S, if the room status is equal to S, so S must be enclosed within what? Within a pair of double quotes. Okay? If the room status, if D9 is equal to S, then, you know, the comma means then do what? Multiply whatever we have as the number of days, which is in C9. I'll actually click the cell with the number of days, C9, see, C9, multiply that with what? The name of the cell that we have here, and the cell is called SR. You remember SR? Yes, how we renamed this cell. You can see after typing SR, the computer is able to note which cell are we referring to. Therefore, very easy to know when you have messed. Okay. Otherwise, now, after the second comma, now we say otherwise, if, otherwise we start another if statement, if function, then the logical test becomes if the room status, which is D9, this time we are testing whether it is equal to what? After S, we test it whether it is equal to D. If it is equal to D, then we are multiplying the number of days in C9 times what, guys? Times DR. Remember, this cell is labeled now. It is named DR. Okay, so when I type DR, you see what happens? It is also being now a part of the formula. Okay, apart from that, if it is not like that, so we say again, if I like this, I just like this. If room status, where is room status? D9. If D9 is equal to what? Again, if it is equal to V. If it is equal to V, then, all right, the value, if true, is the number of days, C9, times what? V, the correct, how do we name that cell? VP. We called it VP. Okay, VP. Yes, so you can see it has also become a part of the formula. Otherwise, value if false becomes if. All right, let's just do a test. Just in case we have typed our own things, we shall be able to know. Another logical test is if the room status D9 is equal to F. Is no, we don't have any other room status. We don't have any other room status. So in case now the room status is neither S and it's neither D, or it's not V as well. So what can it be? Something different that we were not given. So in that case, I'm going to show just a blank cell. I'm not going to show any result, but just a blank cell. How do you show a blank cell? You know, to return a blank cell, blank, something, there's nothing. A pair of double quotes, simple like that. Then remember to close all the open brackets, and as you close them, Excel is so kind, it will show you which bracket you have closed. Wonderful. That one, guys, we have done it, and we have been told that once we created the formula, well, the formula should be copied down in the column to multiply all that. Okay, so let's copy the formula down. Copy the formula down. Excel, can you copy the formula down? Oh, superb. You see that? Yes. Now we go to fridge charges. I did not put an S here, so let's amend it. Once you see a mistake, we amend it right away. We've been told how to calculate. Yes, I am not showing you the paper. In the column with the title fridge charges, enter a formula that can be copied down the column to compute fridge charges. And fridge charges, we have got the value 300 as the fridge charge. And is it charged per day? The rooms with the fridges stocked with drinks attract an extra cost. So in this case, we are going again to use if. Okay, if fridge availability, then we need to show. But let us read again a description that we have up there, so that you can tell me from where you are. You tell me whether what I'm thinking is right or wrong. The rooms with fridges stocked with drinks attract an extra cost. The management of the hotel, okay, so they attract an extra cost. So we are going again to calculate what are the fridge charges as per the number of days that somebody has has lived in that house. Is the word habitation correct? If E9, which is about fridge availability. If E9, did I start with if? I'm only talking about it. If E9 is equal to the word yes in quotes, if it is equal to the word yes in quotes, then do what? Then multiply fridge availability was FR, okay, times what? Fridge availability was FR, now times the number of days. Now times the number of days. Otherwise, if the fridge is not available, show us value 0. Show us value 0. So if there are no fridge charges, come up. If there is no fridge, we are displaying the value 0. And then I close the bracket. That one is. Boop. What is it? So let's see. What could be the issue? I did a wrong test. Because I'm looking at F9. F9 is room charges, but we are testing E9. Somebody had seen that? I don't know whether you had all seen that. E9, let me type it in capital. E9 is where we are testing fridge availability. Correct. So this guy will pay 300 times 3, which is 900. This guy should pay nothing. Let us see now. There are some guys who will pay nothing just because they do not have fridges in their rooms. Okay, now, very good. Moving on very well. Doing fine here. In the column total charges, enter a formula that computes the total of room charges and fridge charges for each guest. Okay, that's easy, isn't it? Is it not easy? Two approaches is equal to this plus this. Or if you don't like that, so if I press enter, 9300. If you don't like that, we say is equal to SUM. We use a function and then this up to there, and then I close the bracket. So whichever you prefer, that's upon your, because the examiner did not specify which one should we use. That is either can do now. Right. D, format room charges, fridge charges, total charges, varies as with currency with 0 number of decimal places. Very wonderful. Easy. That one is another easy part, isn't it? So highlight the values for room charges, fridge charges, total charges, and then on home ribbon, currency symbol. So because of the configuration of this computer is already set to use Kenya shillings, then it is very easy. Okay, so that is it. That is what the examiner wanted us to do. 0 decimal places. So there were 2 decimal places. So I'm using these 2 icons, decrease decimal, increase decimal. So to decrease, of course, we eliminate the decimal places with the decrease decimal icon. Go ahead. Copy all the contents of the current worksheet to a new worksheet. Okay, rename the initial worksheet as original and the copied worksheet as new. So let's carry those 2 items in E together. Copy. So how do we copy? Many methods can work. There are those who like highlighting the table and then copy and then you paste into a new worksheet. I don't like that method. Or even right-clicking here, you know, where the the column identifiers meet with the row identifiers, row references meeting with the column references. You right-click there, you choose copy, and then in a worksheet you go and choose paste. You right-click the same and then you choose paste. Okay, those methods are still good, but I normally prefer this. Observe very keenly. So I'm at the bottom of the worksheet where it is already labeled sheet 1, and I point to the sheet tab, sheet 1, holding control key on my menu, I mean on my keyboard. I drag sheet 1 rightward. You see the small icon which is appearing there? Yes, shows me I'm doing what? Reproducing the worksheet. So as I release, I have got sheet 1 and I have got sheet 2. We were told to rename this as original, hoping that the capitalization is like that. I don't know. Let me check from my paper. Wow, capital. Should be capital. Full capital. Should be capital. So original. And then the other one should be capital new. Capital new. We come here and we say new. Good. Already done. Next question. Next question. In the sheet named new, extract only the records whose room status is S. Very easy. That is about doing what? Filtering. Filtering. You remember filtering? So in this case, we will highlight the smaller table or the table that we have at the bottom. Don't include everything, guys. So look at what I have highlighted, and then this is the area of interest. And then after highlighting, now filtering tool is a data management tool. So we go to data, and then we do click filter button, right? That's stage 1. Every column now has got a filter icon, a filter drop down button. Then room status, now I go there and select all, and I select S. Is it done or is it not done? Do we have S? Do we not have S? Why don't we continue to the next question? Create a column bar chart. Create a column bar chart that compares room charges, fridge charges, note room charges, fridge charges for guests. For guest IDs, for guests whose guest ID are room 3, room 6, room 12, room 3, room 6, room 12. So I have the paper with me on the desk. So just try to note what we have read, and then we now go there to try to think of this. And are they the same people? They are the same people who we have extracted, the people who belong to room S, to room status S rather, because we have been told guest ID is room 3, the guest ID room 6, and the guest ID room 12. These are the people. So we want to create a column graph now, and the column graph is going to utilize we are going to analyze room charges and fridge charges. Room charges, that is where is room charges? Room charges and fridge charges. Okay, they have nothing under fridge charges. So what we do, there are so many approaches towards creating a graph. One is where you may create, like now in this case, we might end up having 3 series to compare the guy in room 3, guy in room 6, and then the guy in room 12. So let me just work it out from scratch. Just go to insert, and then I choose insert column chart, column bar chart. That's what the examiner has called it. Do you have a column like that? A chart that is called column bar chart. Okay. Now it is blank, completely blank, but I want to give it data. So under chart tools, chart design ribbon, we go to select data. Okay, so I add the first series. This series name will be room 3, guest ID room 3, and then the series values, I'm going again to collapse. I collapse. The tiny arrow is called collapse button, and then room charges, I click it, and then also click on fridge charges. So I can just drag over the 2, room charges, fridge charges, and then I uncollapse, right? That's a series. Then okay, add another series. What is the name? I collapse, choose room 6, the label, room 6, the label. Then where are the values? I collapse series values, and then I select 1500 and fridge charges as well. Uncollapse. Click OK. Third series, room 12. So series name, room 12, and then uncollapse, so that we select the values, and these values are those two, uncollapse. Okay, and OK. So there we have. And then on the horizontal axis, this is the x-axis, we are having 1 and 2, but the comparison should be room charges and fridge charges. So again, instead of having numbers, we just choose edit, and then we collapse to get the values or the labels. In this case, we want to use labels: room charges and fridge charges, room charges and fridge charges, and collapse, and then click OK, and then OK. We see how our chart looks like. Of course, nobody should have any charge for I have messed because I am moving a part of the graph plot area alone. So the chart must have chart title and all that. So to add chart elements, we come here, and then you can choose what is missing. Let me start by including a chart title, and then what else? X-axis label, add chart element. So still under chart tools, chart design, add element, the first tool that you have there. Axis titles, primary, horizontal, add element again. By the way, I have not first labeled. I will label primary vertical. So chart title, click until you are able to access the chart title. I have tried double clicking and it seems like it is not responding, so I have done it Qdoodle. You know Qdoodle? Qdoodle way. Room, revenue. Okay, and then this is the vertical axis. Triple click does that. Guessed I no, this is the revenue in Kenya shillings. Revenue in Kenya shillings. Revenue in Kenya shillings. Sometimes you brag a little bit, especially when you are getting to the end of the exam, but don't brag until you have already printed the work and you feel so happy about it. Okay, revenue in Kenya shillings. The x-axis is guest ID. All right. Okay, so if it is guest ID, then it means that we need to swap something. There is a good thing about column graph or bar graphs, that you can switch between rows and columns. Let's see what will happen. Yes, you see, again, see what happens. This icon still under chart design, switch between rows and columns. So that makes your work very, very easy. Now the only thing that you might require to do again is to show legend, but you are told to show it. We are not. About the placement, let me see about placement. Well, I should also be showing you the paper. Insert the following labels and so although we are not rename the chart sheet as revenue. So because of that, it means that the examiner was having an idea that the chart should be independent on its own worksheet. So how do you move the chart? Chart tools, when the chart is still selected, chart tools, chart design, move chart. To where? To a new sheet called who? Capital S revenue. Capital S revenue. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Then, okay, it should be the last worksheet, so I just need to drag it to appear at the end. So we have got our original, we have got the new, we have got S revenue. Good. Beautifully done. That's a beautifully done task. Then print out later each of the following original worksheet. So guys, here is very crucial, because the way we print out our work sometimes is very, very wanting. Original worksheet. Like now I want to show you how it will print out in my case. So in my case, you can see I have already selected the worksheet to be printed, and I'm finding like I have 2 pages. 2 pages meaning what? That I'll print out 2 papers, and then I'll ask the examiner to provide me with some super glue to attach the 2 pieces together. Please don't do that. That's wrong. So every time you have Excel, one trick that you must always apply is make sure you have told the computer this is the area to be printed. 1, highlight the area to be printed, and then under page layout, set print area. Set what? Print area. That way we have guided the computer that's an area to be printed. Then immediately you invoke set print area, you're going to see how your page is segmented. If you see a dotted line like the one that I'm having between F and G, it shows that there will be breaking of a page there. Okay, so to avoid that, there are several options. Either squeezing everything to fit into one page by doing what? Displaying the page setup window by clicking this icon, and then force everything to fit into 1 page is tall, 1 page is wide, 1 page is wide, 1 page is tall. Okay, in that case, if I now invoke the print preview, what has happened is that I still have my page in portrait. The page is still in portrait, but you see the table can still fit. That's one option. The second option is where I feel like there's no need to squeeze things. So I simply can change the orientation. I can simply change the orientation. In this case, I did not require, according to the size of this table, I might not have required to cause it to fit into 1 page tall or 1 page is wide. So I can just allow it to adjust to 100%. So in this case, what I have changed is the orientation of the page. Is it gonna fit? Let's see. Oh, good. That's great. So do likewise also for new worksheet. Highlight it, then print area, set print area. If you feel it will not fit, like now we have got the dotted line again, orientation, change to landscape. Okay, change to landscape. You see the dotted line has disappeared, and then if I try to print preview, you can see now that even that table is still fitting within 1 page. Under the chart does not have any issue. You simply print it, it will just appear on 1 single sheet of paper. The charts normally behave like that. They are friendly. They are friendly than the tables themselves. So guys, that is how you could have handled the 2017 question 1. And now because I would like us to break this video into 2 parts, please allow me to take a break, and thereafter I'll be creating question number 2. We are going to see what were the contents in question number 2. In case you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe to this channel. Tell others about it. Invite them by sharing my videos, and also remember to like and also comment on all the videos that you might have watched. Thank you very much for staying with us. God bless you. Stay safe and blessed.